And we are live.
Yes, we are. So, just doing some of our routine Facebooking before we go live, sharing it to all of our different groups, channels, families, friends, student groups. Today we're going to be talking about our top hacks for getting more things done. Part 2. And today we're focusing on the execution of our days. So, episode 2 was defining our goals.
Planning out your day.
Yeah, then we did planning out your day, and now we are doing the actual execution of your day.
Mm-hmm.
So a nice little mini series, you might say.
Yeah, and it's cool because it makes you have to keep watching them. And I know that if you're watching these and paying attention to these, you're going to be more productive during your day. You're going to start planning more. You're going to get more done. And you're going to have more time for your stuff that you really want to do.
Absolutely, guys. Our quick 10, 20-minute talks can exponentially kind of go out to give you back more time in your life, which is the amazing part of things.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, have you been productive this week?
I feel like I've been really productive this week. I got
What'd you get done?
I got my ClickUp. I got my lesson planning done. A couple weeks ahead of time, which is awesome.
We started looking at parent night outs for the gym, which is going to be sweet events. Excited for those. We got our furniture in at the academy. Another coat of paint's going on the walls this week. I feel like it's been an awesome day.
Yeah.
Got a lot of my taxes done, my business taxes.
Oh, really?
It's that season.
Awesome.
So I'm feeling good about my week.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Cool. So let's start getting into some tactics that we like using to have a more productive day. So my first suggestion to everyone, and this is kind of scenario dependent on your household and whatever it may be, but waking up before everyone else around you. Not just everyone else around you, but everyone else in your life too, because when I wake up early, there's less distractions going on around me that are going to let me do the things that I want to do, right? Whether it's I wake up before my dog, so my dog's not bothering me all the time, or, waking up before you have to start working with people around your house.
Yeah. I think a lot of people live a lifestyle where they set their alarm for 5 minutes before they absolutely have to get up to get ready, to get dressed, and go to work, and then you start their morning off with this huge scramble to get everything done. And I think if you kind of get used to the routine of waking up and just start off with maybe like an hour earlier, right?
Yeah,
you have
for
more
sure.
time. You get out of bed. You have more time. You can make your coffee and you can start planning your day, and that gives you time to, if you're still getting into this, start doing that planning exercise that we talked about in our last episode.
Not to mention, we're going to talk about, distractions a little bit later, but, when I wake up before everyone else, that includes a lot of my friends who would be like texting me throughout the day. So I don't have notifications going on my phone, pulling my attention in different directions so I can actually do the things that I want to do, right? We use Slack for communication at the gym. Like my Slack alerts don't go off until 7 a.m., right? You can set up do not disturb modes on your phone. So, you don't start getting messages until a certain time. I just think that peace and quiet time is really good for me to have. Not to mention when I wake up before everyone else, I can leave for work before everyone else, and my commute is a lot faster. Excellent. So what are we going to do with this extra time in the morning? Well, we're going to make a morning routine. Okay, so that's kind of our second trick here. Coming up with some sort of set exercises that you do every morning to just kind of get your momentum in your day going, right? Some people, it's getting that early workout in. For me, I have this routine where I wake up, I let my dog out because she's got to go out right away, and I make my coffee, right? I grind it, I French press it.
It can be as easy as that. Like, it's just a small tasks to get things done, but you do them in a set order and you do them every day.
Yeah, exactly. One of the coolest speeches that I heard was, I think it was actually a commencement speech from Navy SEAL Admiral McRaven. And it was about the simplest thing, like making your bed, how much of an impact that can have on your day, right? So you get up, you make your bed, and that is your first task of the
Yeah.
day. You don't realize it, but like that's what gets the ball rolling.
You started
It gets
the day
everything moving.
getting something done.
Not to mention, like, every time you walk in your room after that, you're not going to feel like it's a cluster because, like, everything's all messy, right?
Yeah.
So it gives you a clean environment to work in. I think it's a really good thing to do. Other good examples, like I said, I think getting a workout in, whether it's small, like
15 push-ups, 15 sit-ups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything big. Some people do dream reflection. So, like, sitting down with a little 5-minute journal and reflecting on, what you dreamt about, or looking at, start writing down some of your goals that you have in your life, or, it can even be planning out your day.
Yeah,
like we
writing
talked
your
about
to-do
last
list. Figuring that out, putting the tasks in the right order.
Just create that routine that you can do, more often than not, stick to it, and you'll see how much momentum that you gain out of it. It's a really easy, big change in your life.
Mm-hmm.
The next one that we're going to talk about is eating the frog.
Eating the frog.
Talon loves bugs and stuff.
I do like bugs and stuff. I don't think that has anything to do with frogs. But eating the frog.
You're not going to eat a frog?
So when you're waking up and you got your routine down, your bed's made, and you're ready to start tackling the tasks that you have on your to-do list, eat the frog. Do the worst thing first. Get that out of the way and save the easier things for later in the day when you may not have as much energy. Because you're more likely to get that terrible task done if you do it first, right?
Yeah, and it doesn't necessarily need to be like, don't think of it being like the worst thing that you've ever done in your life. It could be that like call to renew your insurance that you've been putting off for like 2 months. You're just like, I'll do it tomorrow. Just like do it. Take that thing, put it first on your list, get it done. The rest of the day is going to be easy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I actually think I think Eat the Frog actually comes from like a Mark Twain quote.
Really?
I was kind of looking up into the history of it, but I didn't know he was so big into. I mean, it's something that he would say.
It is definitely something he would say. It absolutely makes sense. Absolutely makes sense. And I think I need to start doing that more personally. It's just getting that one thing that I've been dreading down first, and then because I usually save it for later. I get all the easy stuff done first.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy to get all the easy stuff done first.
Which is good, but like, if you have this recurring easy stuff, make that as part of your morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's checking your emails or whatever it is. Make that part of your morning routine. Limit how long you do it. But then when you actually get onto your daily tasks, we were planning out Eisenhower matrices to figure out what task lists that we should go in. Like, put that to the first, right? Awesome. Looks like we have a few people watching our show. If you guys are watching, drop us some comments, some love. If you guys actually comment today with the word productive, we're going to be sending you our list of tools and tactics that we actually use. So, I have a bunch of different phone apps. I have some journals that I use. I love to share that with you guys. I just need the pathway to share it. If you guys are catching us via the podcast, just send us a email instead, or, you can comment on our YouTube video. I'll make sure I get it to you guys. So, wake up before everyone else. Morning routine. Do the worst thing first, or eating the frog. Don't actually eat the frogs. The next thing is clumping little things together, right? So this kind of goes with the distractions, the little things that hit us throughout the day that pull us away from what we want to do, right? Anything that is small, when I say small, like, something that takes 30 seconds to 2 minutes, clump them together and just get it done, right? So in the morning when you're checking your emails, obviously some emails require a lot of thought to respond to. You have to be good with your wording. You might have to do a little research on it.
Yeah.
Like those emails that take you like 10 seconds to respond, get them out of the way.
Blast them.
Just do it. If you get distracted by your RSS feed. So I use the RSS feed to check a ton of different blogs and news things all through one interface. Maybe I'll talk about RSS feeds later. They're amazing things to keep yourself educated and informed. It pulls me away a lot because it gets updated like literally, like I could check it 10 minutes later, there would be new articles for me to check out in it, right? Bulk those for part of my day and don't let them pull me away. I'll just say 11 o'clock today, I'm going to check my RSS feed. 3 o'clock today, I'm going to check it. And that's it. Like I'm not going to keep going back at it every time, right? Or those, we talked about small emails. Like, clump all your small emails together and then just hammer them all out.
Really easy.
Pretty simple.
Pretty straightforward too.
Yeah, it's just something that people don't think about that makes life easier.
Because then you're working on something, you're in the middle of a project, and then then you remember, I have to answer that email, and that goes to the next one. Then you get back to work, and then you're like, oh wait, I have to do this next task, and instead of being able to focus, you get interrupted by those little things. So I think if you bring them together, you won't be as distracted as you're completing things during the day. Makes sense.
Easy enough.
The Pomodoro Technique.
It's one of my favorites.
It's a cool one. It's where you do 25 minutes of solid work, straight, focused, hard work, and then you just take a 5-minute break. No matter where you're at, no matter what, you set it down. You go grab a refill on your coffee cup. 5 minutes are done. Back to work. 25 minutes.
That's it.
And the cycle renews until the task is over.
Yeah, exactly. So what's a good example? Let's say writing up this script for what we're talking about today, right? I would sit down. I'd write as much as I can in 25 minutes. If it's done, it's done, right? I take a 5-minute break. Then I go on to my next task. If it's not done, I still allocate another 25 minutes to it in my day, right? And when you plan out your day, I plan out my day, my tasks in these 25-minute blocks, and I kind of estimate how many of these blocks is going to take me to get done, right? Now, if I finish halfway through a block, that's fine. I take my break early. Maybe I use that extra time to do those little things that we clump together, right? And then finish that 25 minutes, take my 5-minute break, and then I go back to what I was doing. There's a ton of timers out there, apps. Some people like just using little kitchen egg timers so they can actually watch the time go down. There's a ton of cool ways to do it. One of my favorite ways to use this is doing stuff like that I don't like doing, like cleaning the dojo. I don't like cleaning the dojo, obviously. But what I do is, I'll set a timer for 25 minutes and I will clean my butt off for those 25 minutes. I'll take my 5-minute break. I'll take a look around. I'm like, am I happy with this? Is it satisfactory? Mm-hmm. If it is, I'm done. If not, I'm just going to do another 25 minutes. Why not? Easy technique.
Very easy technique.
Excellent. A recent one that I learned about that we kind of build off of our scheduling, and this kind of plays into eating the frog and plays into all of our other techniques, is the end method of organizing your actions for the day.
End method. What does that mean?
The end method.
Perry?
So what we do is every task that we have throughout the day, we classify it in one of 3 areas. If it energizes us, if it's neutral, or if it's draining, right? So what you want to do is you can look at this on like a task level basis. You can look at it as a whole day level basis too. Mm-hmm. So let's say task level basis. What we're doing in the morning, getting our momentum going, we're trying to create energy for us, right? So the energizing things are things that we like, the things that really have value to them, and that energize you to keep doing something else, right? The neutral ones are just kind of neutral, right? You're kind of indifferent about them. But the draining ones are the ones that, like, when that task is over, you're like, I'm done for the day. Let's turn on Netflix, right? Yeah. Let's go on Facebook. Let's do whatever it is, right? So good example is eating the frog for a lot of people is going to be a draining task sometimes, right? So what you want to do is you want to take that draining task and put an energizing one right after it, right? So it kind of pulls you. It gives you something that you're passionate about to do to pull you out of that drained state. You're looking forward to
the next task, which makes the first task easier to accomplish and it carries you through it. Instead of just, being at the end going, all right, we got through that. I'm done. Like I'm going.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you can look at this on a daily basis. Christmas comes into mind for me and my mom, when Christmas is going on, she's like super crazy with, presents and cooking and, it's a event for it, right? Yeah. It's draining. You have a lot of passion and that's why you do it. So it energizes you throughout it. But when it's done, you are drained. So you need to plan that like the next day. If you're attending a big conference, I have a bunch of conferences coming up for work and for the gym. Like I'm energized throughout it, but when I get back home, I'm like, my brain's just like trying to absorb everything, and I'm fairly worthless for what I want to do, right? I need to make sure that, when I come back, I plan for it. So I plan some neutral things the next day or some energizing things the next day to keep me moving.
You can't always, and could it be said that depending on your task, like a draining activity might not always be the best to be before an energizing task, because you want to be able to really put your heart into that energizing task. So if you're super drained, but it's something that you want to get done, maybe that is something that you put at the end of the day. That you just burn out on, and then, go to bed and get after it the next day.
And you don't have to be like too crazy thought into this. Just slowly start recognizing throughout your day as you do tasks, your state after doing those tasks, and just recognizing your state. You're going to recognize how to start building your day out in the future and how things that you do affect you and affect your energy levels. It's really easy to do. And I know, as you guys sit there and you watch this, you're going to see all the different ways that our techniques combine with one another. And the more you combine these techniques, the easier that they're going to be and the more productive you're going to be throughout your days. All right. The last one, the most obvious one, eliminating distractions.
Gotta do it.
Gotta do it.
Killer. It's the killer. Everyone's guilty of it.
Especially today, in this age, phones, iPhones, Apple Watches, whatever it may be. Like my watch, for example, is typically always on Do Not Disturb, or it's on, this theater mode so the lights don't shine up all the time. But like my watch would go off every 3 minutes with a buzz, and I'm just like, what do I gotta do?
Yeah. I mean, a huge one for me on that aspect was if I'm working on the computer, I deleted the Facebook tab, bookmark, so I couldn't just click it. If I wanted to go check my Facebook, I physically had to
and for sure for computers and stuff like that, there's, and I'll send them in that list if you guys comment with Productive. But there's a lot of really good plugins out there that will block any website you want it to block. And a lot of times they'll categorize them for you. So you could say between the hours of 9 and 11 a.m., I want any social media site blocked for me, right? And then it will actually unlock for an hour of your day that you can use it, but then it'll go back out again. Right? And if you're like me and a lot of us, and you don't have that natural thing where you can just not do it, right? It's a really good thing for you to do.
And then that's just technology-wise. I mean, you could plan certain things for if you have kids, my kids are busy this evening, I can plan this task for them. Or take your dog out first right away in the morning so it doesn't come bother you
for sure
while you're trying to get things done.
That's a really good one.
So, I mean, and I know that gets difficult for some people depending on your situation to find a quiet space or a distraction-free environment. But at least limiting it to, taking out what you can control, I think is very powerful, and I think will help out a lot.
I invested, I'm not saying bought, because it was an investment. I invested in some noise-canceling headphones from Sony, and they're incredible. I put those things on an airplane, and I can't hear anything. No engine hum, no kid behind me screaming. I still feel him kick my seat, but I can't hear anything. And, a lot of us are working in open offices, open workspaces or cubicle farms or fish bowls or whatever you guys want to call them. Noise canceling headphones have been a game changer for my productivity. Way easier. I'm trying to think if there's any other good things. Some families do, everyone's going to put their phone in their bedrooms during dinner. Right? Don't let that distract you.
Sophia and I will do that all the time. We'll put our phones on top of each other and we'll set them down somewhere where we can both look at them. So both each other feels guilty if you have to grab it.
First person who grabs their phone has to buy dinner.
Something like that.
You should do that.
Yeah, but it's and that helps maybe not on the getting stuff done level all the time, but that helps in just making meaningful relationships and communicating with people, which I think is also should be part of your day.
That'll be a good one. A good talk.
Yeah.
How to improve our communication.
Which I think that's, it is a good one because I think a lot of people need some help on that one because no one learns how to communicate with people in school. It's not something that you are forced to learn.
Nope.
And I think that gets in the way of a lot of people.
Nope. And I know one of my students was saying, Amber was I think it was Amber. maybe not, but they're in a communication class and they're like, I have to write so many papers. I'm like, how about just like talking to people? Like that's the best way to communicate.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. I was going to start going into stuff like sleep and how to get better sleep. And, you know, we have our morning routines. It's always good to also have evening routines as well. Maybe next time we'll do evening routines. And then in the future we'll plan something for communication.
So we can talk all day on that.
We could talk all week on that for sure. For sure. Well, excellent. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
You know, I hope you guys had a productive week. I hope you guys next week have an even more productive one. I know just by watching this video, you guys will. Like, comment, share our podcast, share our YouTube videos. We love you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.